Hello YouTubers, my name is X Factor. I'm traveling down the highway in Lancang Dam because we're playing some Rush Assault gameplay in the MBT, and this is usually what you see. They get an LAV in a tank, it spawns in the main road. You get an Amtrak in a tank that spawns in a delay, and usually you see both of those guys right in front of you. And the topography is extremely tough to tank on for the first set of MCOMs as the attackers. You're going to see me kind of retreat to my right as I start getting the attention of both pieces of armor. So I'm going to pop APS and try to get away with as much health as possible. This is tough to tank from unless you make it further up. Once you make it further up, there's tons of cover. So what did I just do to my team? Okay, I'm supporting this area, but it doesn't need supporting. We've got tons of infantry, the Amtrak, which again has two functions of fire. There is the coax in it, and then of course it has the big splash cannon, the flak shell, which you guys use. If you're on console, I'm not sure what you hit, but whatever it is to toggle to your alternate fire on computer, it's F or 1 and 2, depending on which ones it's bound to. But I'm leaving our flank open. That was a move just to get out of dodge and kind of have some protection. But worst case scenario, I just allowed the defenders to push up on that whole side and collapse down. Now see those sheds up there to the left? That's a great spot to play. If I can make it there, I'll be okay. So the whole point of this part of the map is for me to keep their armor in check. And here you see me struggling with that topography, trying to get to a spot where I can make cover. And here's one of those spots where if I had to, I would pop APS just to make it to that cover. So if I know I'm going to take some shots, I might just pop it. So I've got the rear shot on this guy. I'm going to try to pull up to maximize my damage. Right there with the Sable shell. The biggest shot in the back does the most damage straight in angle. So instead of taking that angle shot, might not have been a guaranteed second hit kill. And with that LAV gangbanging on me, I might have died or gotten disabled myself, which wouldn't have been good. So there you see me. I've got the ability to pillar now. I've got the ability to use these buildings as cover. And here's where I do use my main shell on infantry. When they're in buildings, I can take buildings down. I can take walls down. I can do splash damage because it might catch a wall. And of course, pull up to check the backside of the building just to help out the infantry. So what started off as a pretty sketchy start, we got established. And as you can see, the armor comes in quickly, and this is a great spot to repair. Why? Because he's got to chase me now. I'm completely covered. So we get the first set of MCOMs, and now it's on to the second, and here's the tough part. So I'm going to work this left side, try to establish a secondary angle, put some pressure on these guys. The tough spot is this. You've got an LAV that's sitting on your right side, but the spawns are all to your left. Again, the main road again. And I'm trying to lob one over. If I had the HE, that arch would have been a little bit better. There would have been more drop, but I might have been able to finish him off. So I'm basically looking, not right here, but to the left is their armor spawn. So when you play this spot, you've really got to be careful. And the HMG is all about the lead on this thing and just tap fire it. If it's close, you can burst it. And whenever you can, if you have a certainty of where your enemy's at, try to steal a spot repair. Anytime you can. There's tons of cover back here, but again, you've got to worry about all these little head glitch spots that the enemy engineers can play off of. If they've got some RPGs and laws, you really got to be careful because they can eat you up. And here I've got problems. I've got engineers trying to sneak up on me, and an MBT just spawned in fresh. So unfortunately, I don't go hot and heavy right up the middle because I didn't feel like being pinched in. And that's a question I ask myself all the time. When I start to play Rush as a tanker, I say, okay, do I want to play in the middle and get shot at by all these crazy angles and have to worry about swinging my turret all around, or do I want to help control the map and control the angle and control the enemy flow? There is no right answer. It's honestly up to you, your play style and what you feel. Sometimes I do throw myself in the middle, but usually on assault, I try to control their armor and their angles. And this is basically where they're spawning in at. So I really got to be careful. Pop APS again. As you can see, it's exploding in front of me. And here's where HE would really come in handy, these closer range shots. Now, here's something important. If you're going tank to tank, Sabo and HE do basically the same damage over time, right? Because HE takes a little bit longer to reload, but it hits a lot harder. But if you're pillaring, nothing out damages HE because you're only pillaring and exposing yourself when your shot is ready, and that's important. So if he's got Sabo and I've got HE and we're going shot for shot, I'll win that battle every single time. So I'm low on ammo, and there's two pieces of armor. That's where I will chase to get a kill. He's got toes, I'm in a lot of trouble, and I'm probably just going to back up here. So sometimes I don't chase. You guys have seen me talk about that a lot, but sometimes I do. If I can eliminate a piece of armor and take them down to 1, making sure that second one doesn't get repaired, I will chase. So I talked about the commander crate before. If you're a commander and this is an armor-based map, drop your crate for your teammates, especially where your armor can get to it. Why? Because you're going to see in a second, I've alluded to this in a couple other videos, it super reloads the armor. So if I'm down to 1 right now, which I've still got to wait to chamber, I can back up, and he just popped his APS, so there's no point in me shooting. I can back up to this commander crate, which has the basically parachute on it, and watch how fast this reloads. It's insane. I can't take on 2 pieces of armor with just 1 in the chamber right now. So watch what happens when this next one goes. Look how fast this is now. Look what's happening to the shell. Look how quick that is. So even though the update icon thing on the bottom, the status bar, is off, look how fast these shells are popping in. It's as quick as you can shoot them, basically. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay on Lancang Dam Rush Assault for the MBT. Working the first 2 MCOMs. The third set, what happens usually is the team loiters in back here, and they get pinched, and by the time that they figure out what's going on, you're already to the third set. So if you can crack the nut on the first set, it gets quite a bit easier on definitely the second set, and then, of course, the final set of MCOMs. As always, YouTubers, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. And we'll see you soon. That Levolution, though.